The South Korean leader and the First Lady will get a longer than usual stay at Blair House, where the U.S. president's guests are accommodated. They're also both invited to an official dinner. Jung-hee zooms in on the Trump administration's extra warm reception.
President Moon Jae-in will be staying at Blair House in Washington, D.C. during his 4-day visit to the U.S. Located across from the White House on Pennsylvania Avenue, the 115-room residence has served as the U.S. president's guest house for visiting heads of state and ambassadors since 1942. The first Korean to be put up at Blair House was the former President Park Chung-hee in 1965, and all Korean presidents visiting the U.S. since then have also stayed there. President Moon is the first Korean president to spend 3 nights at Blair House on the first official visit to the U.S., and tightened regulations are making such long stays quite rare for any head of state. President Moon's trip to the U.S. is what's called an official working visit. It requires lower-level protocol than a state visit or official visit, but also means fewer formal engagements and therefore more time for diplomatic activities. Diplomatic sources say that's why the presidential office of Cheongwade chose a simpler form of visit. The U.S. government has shown a warm welcome to the Korean president, with U.S. President Trump inviting both President Moon and the First Lady to the official welcoming dinner, something that he hasn't done for the spouses of other world leaders since taking office. U.S. lawmakers have also adopted a bipartisan resolution welcoming President Moon's trip to Washington, and a few are requesting to the Speaker of the House of Representatives that President Moon address a joint meeting of Congress during his visit. Jung-hee, Arirang News.